Hi friends, today's reading is all about how you'll make an impact and how you'll be rewarded for it. Because you weren't born to just work. You were born to make an impact. We'll reveal how your unique energy creates real change in the world and how the universe plans to reward you for it. Maybe you've been questioning if your efforts matter, or maybe you're wondering when all of your hard work will finally pay off. The universe wants you to know that your purpose and your prosperity are deeply connected. Let's dive in. If you are new to Pick a Card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with Prehnite here, and Prehnite is a fabulous stone for all of my healers out there. It's the kind of stone that will heal the healer within you and to really refill the energy that you give out. It's also a great stone for releasing things that no longer serve you. If you have nightmares or if you want to promote more dreaming, this would be a great stone as well. We have pile 2 here with rose quartz, and this is a really cute carving of My Melody. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Sanrio and Hello Kitty and all of her friends, but I'm a big fan. So I got this cute little rose quartz My Melody carving on my latest vacation with my family. Rose quartz is a great stone for unconditional love. It's great for compassion and connection. This is the kind of stone that prepares you to receive love and happiness. It's a great stone to use when you want to ease your worry and your doubt. We have pile 3 here, and we have Garnet quartz. And so this is a fabulous stone for all of my soul searchers out there, people who are going through some uncharted territories. Maybe you're going through some unexpected times. Maybe you're working on finding your best self. This is a great stone. It also promotes a very calm and meditative state, and some people report that it helps them with their anxiety. And then we have pile 4 here. We have a piece of garnet here, and this is the stone of courage, of vitality. I know the color is hard to see. It looks like a black stone. It's actually this deep ruby red, and this promotes positive outcomes. If you're looking for genuine, lasting connections, if you want to boost your creativity and your passion, you can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you're ready, go to the description of this video, find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, and then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. It is such an honor and a privilege, and I will see you on the inside. Hi pile 1, hey friends, welcome to your reading. First, we're going to talk about your unique impact. Let's talk about your gift to the world and what your natural zone of genius is, or what your soul mission is. We have Judgment in reverse here, and this one says, all the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So I wonder if some of you here have been feeling called to do something, or called or drawn towards something for a really long time now, but maybe you feel like your calling has been delayed, or maybe you feel like it's been more of this internalized calling that maybe you haven't shared with anybody else yet. I feel like you have this talent and this message, but maybe old self-judgments, things like imposter feelings or the fear of not being ready, these are the things that are keeping recognition slower for you, if you know what I'm talking about. I think the upside here is once you consciously choose to stop punishing yourself, your progress is going to accelerate. So your unique gift or zone of genius here is a lived authenticity. You translate messy personal truth into clear guidance for others. Maybe you want to coach or teach, or you want to do creator work, or whatever it is. I just think that your voice is going to be something that becomes credible because it's honest. I think that this could show up as pay increases or having steady clients. Maybe you're going to get invitations to collaborate, but maybe only after you publicly own your story and you stop second guessing your launches. So for example, maybe some of you here are going to launch a paid mini course or a group coaching program based on a personal transformation that you lived through. And here you're going to attract clients who resonate with that authenticity. Or maybe some of you here want to apply to speak at one local conference or podcast each month, and even small stages build proof, and maybe after 3 to 6 appearances, you'll start to get invites back, or maybe you're going to start to get paid gigs offered to you. I can also see some of you here replacing that private perfectionism with a good enough launch cadence. Maybe you're going to post case studies from 3 clients and you're going to use those to pitch a partnership or some sort of higher paid contract. We also have the celebrity sun, and it says, I lead with my light. Pile 1, you are naturally charismatic, imaginative, luminous, confident, authentic, inspiring, passionate, magnetic, impactful, public, fashionable, independent, noble, generous, and unique. So this is all about visibility. This is about charisma, and this is about magnetism. Pile 1, you shine and people notice. And I think that your warmth turns strangers into paying supporters. You have this radiant sense of leadership, and you know how to make complex things feel easy and joyful. And so people want to be around that kind of energy, and they will pay for access. So I think that this could show up through brand deals, sponsorships, maybe larger YouTube or TikTok or social media revenue. I also think this could look like higher priced offers because your audience trusts and adores you. Maybe for some of you here, this looks like creating a signature live event. Maybe this is a Instagram live or a TikTok live or an in-person salon that you meet people at. But I just feel like you're going to monetize something via ticketed access or like digital replays or upsells in some way. I can also see some of you here packaging some sort of star offer, like a one-on-one mentorship at premium pricing, or something that's marketed as access to your unique approach and energy. I also think that some of you here could be partnering with a brand for an influencer campaign or some sort of affiliate launch because your engaged audience produces results. Next, let's talk about the pathway you'll be noticed and rewarded for. We'll talk about how recognition, financial stability, and opportunities will flow in for you. So we have the King of Cups here, and this one says, always compose yourself before giving a response. So this talks about emotional mastery, can also talk about having this professional sense of diplomacy. Pile 1, I feel like you're recognized not just for skill, but for how you hold people. I think that you're very steady, you're very empathetic, and you're wise. You have this unique zone of genius where you can balance your business savvy with your emotional intelligence. So you know how to turn tense negotiations into loyal relationships, and maybe this shows up for you as retained clients or leadership roles or recurring revenue. Maybe this is through retainers, or maybe this is referrals from people who deeply feel seen by you. For example, maybe some of you here want to offer a monthly retainer service like community management or ongoing coaching or client care, and clients are going to pay predictable monthly fees because you deliver consistent presence and calm. Maybe some of you here want to land a managerial or a team-led role where your emotional leadership reduces churn, and this role might come with salary plus benefits. Maybe some of you here want to act as a high ticket client concierge. Maybe you want to do real estate co-listings or be a creative director or an executive coach where you have this ability to hold space and it commands a higher hourly rate. We also have Moon Path, taking the next step. So this is all about you following your intuition, but moving deliberately. I think that opportunities are going to show up through inner nudges and creative risk-taking. So the path is going to be revealed to you step by step. You have this amazing sense of intuitive strategy, Pile 1, and you know how to sense the right move before data does. And I think that you know how to act on your creative hunches that can scale. So maybe this shows up as new opportunities that arrive after small, brave steps. Maybe this is applying, pitching, or publishing something that feels risky. For example, maybe some of you here send one outreach email per week to an ideal partner or a publication, and one of those emails becomes a collaboration or a guest post that drives a surge of clients. Maybe some of you here want to test a paid pilot offer. Maybe you have 5 spots and this is based on a new idea that you've been sensing, and the pilot converts and becomes a full price program. Maybe some of you here want to start a weekly experiment video series showing the behind the scenes of your process, and maybe a single viral clip brings in new clients and paid invites. Next, let's talk about the lesson or the challenge that will strengthen your impact. Let's talk about the growth point or the block that must be healed or mastered. So we have the Ace of Swords here, and this one says, look at you, you're bursting with sparkly new ideas. So I think that having very clear communication and clear messages and having this very decisive communication are going to be your growth edges. Maybe your idea or your project must be communicated very crisply. Maybe it has to cut through the noise. I think that this is all about having conceptual clarity where you can create these clear frameworks and deliverables that clients understand and that they'll pay for. Maybe this shows up as higher conversion rates or less wasted time pitching things. I can also see many of you here having easier sales conversions. Now, maybe some of you here want to rework your sales page or your headline into one clear promise and do one CTA, one clear call to action, and test it. Maybe you have better clarity, and then that equals higher, conversions in terms of money. Or maybe some of you here develop a 3-step signature method. Maybe you want to name it, trademark it in your marketing, and use that framework in every pitch. That way clients buy what they can picture. Maybe some of you here are going to create a short, crystal clear lead magnet. Maybe it's a 1-page checklist or a 10-minute training that funnels to a paid offer, and maybe you see a measurable bump in paid signups after this. We also have debilitated discomfort. So maybe discomfort is active in this season. Maybe you feel blocked, or you have to push forward through awkward growth pains. And I think that this is the card that asks you to use this discomfort as fuel. This is all about resilience. You know how to convert hard lessons into practical systems that others can follow. And so I feel like your reliability in discomfort can become a marketable skill. So maybe after enduring some sort of stretch, you're going to be seen as somebody who delivers under pressure. Maybe this leads you to stable contracts or emergency retainers or crisis paid gigs. Maybe some of you here take a short client project that feels messy and under-resourced. Maybe it feels low paying at first, but you finish it exceptionally, and then this client refers you to higher paying work. Or maybe some of you here want to publicly share a vulnerability post about a business mistake that you've made in the past and how you fixed it, and that realness brings new clients who want your transparent mentorship. I can also see some of you here maybe doing like a temporary pay what you can, or like a sliding scale offer to build testimonials and case studies. I think that maybe some of you here are going to build a collection of case studies that are strong, and they're going to lead you to some sort of paid group program. When I see the 7 of Swords, I think about strategy. I think about unconventional methods and sometimes working behind the scenes. Maybe your legacy might look less like a public monument and maybe more like a quiet systemic change or some sort of clever workaround that frees yourself and frees others. I think that you are this genius at having this strategic problem solving, and you know how to navigate things through creativities. You're the kind of person who sees loopholes, and you can optimize systems and reroute resources to help people bypass any sort of limiting structures that they might come up against. Pile 1, you know how to build a long-term income through intellectual property or systems or tools that quietly multiply. Maybe this is templates or playbooks or automations. Maybe some of you here develop and sell a set of plug and play templates, or SOPs, standard operating procedures, or automation flows. For example, maybe like client intake systems or email sequences that agencies and curators can buy again and again. Maybe some of you here want to create a how we did it case study that shows your clever strategy for a tough problem. And maybe this will become a paid consultancy or a licensing opportunity. Maybe some of you here want to offer a stealth consulting retainer model where you optimize clients' back-end revenue without seeking the limelight, and clients keep you because you reduced waste and you increase profit. We also have summer, expansion and growth. So this is all about a season of scaling. I think that once your inner blocks are healed, you can move into visible growth and financial expansion. So I want you to think paid ads, hiring, and having systematic offers. I think that this is all about you scaling what works. You know how to take a single offer and amplify it to many buyers without losing quality. I think that this looks like bigger launches, team hires, and higher revenue months, and having this bigger market share. So maybe some of you here want to run a 30-day paid launch for your signature offer with an affiliate program, and maybe you're going to double or triple your usual monthly revenue. Maybe some of you here want to hire a virtual assistant or a part-time manager to free you to create and sell, and this increases output and income. Maybe some of you here want to launch an evergreen funnel, like an ad that leads you to a lead magnet, which then leads you to some sort of tripwire, which then leads you to a main offer, something like that, so that you can generate steady passive revenue. Let's get some additional info here. We have visitation. This one says loved ones, benevolent guides, and revelations. So with this, I feel like you are going to get timely help. Maybe it's going to be through a mentor or an unexpected message or an aha moment that accelerates progress for you. I think that these are going to be practical nudges and not just mystical signs. So maybe a connection or insight lands you a paying client or a partnership or a pivotal piece of clarity. So for example, maybe some of you here have a former colleague who DMs you or messages you about an open role or a referral that becomes a 6-figure freelance contract. Maybe some of you here during a quiet moment have this clear marketing idea and you implement it that day and it results in a direct sale or a new client within 48 to 72 hours. Maybe some of you here have a trusted friend who introduces you to someone who becomes an investor or a collaborator or a long-term client. Let's get more info from our astro dice. All right, so we have Jupiter in the 9th house. So Jupiter in the 9th house is one of the most expansive, wise, and rewarding positions in astrology for career and purpose and long-term legacy. So I feel like this is all about you, again, teaching, mentoring, anything to do with philosophy. Maybe this has to do with cross-cultural influence. This can also talk about spiritual leadership and global communication. Pile 1, you are here to expand people's minds and beliefs. You're here to help others to see life from a higher, more liberating perspective. Your natural gift is turning experience into wisdom and guiding others toward meaning, growth, and truth. So I do feel like many of you here would be excellent educators or thought leaders. I feel like many of you here would be great at creating online courses or writing books or leading workshops that challenge outdated systems and help others think for themselves. For example, maybe you teach mindset or spirituality or life design on YouTube and you blend storytelling and wisdom that really does inspire global audiences. Or maybe some of you here would be great at being a travel or cultural connector where you build a business or platform that connects people from across the world, you know? So maybe this is like you being a travel content creator or a remote work mentor or a spiritual retreat organizer in different countries. I can also see some of you here being a philosopher in practice. Like, I think that you can take complex ideas, things like psychology, philosophy, spirituality, business strategy, and you know how to make them simple, relatable, and usable. So I can see many of you here being speakers or coaches who bridge modern successes and ancient wisdom. I think that your life is going to become your curriculum. I think your wisdom is going to become your wealth. And I do believe that your expansion is going to become the world's inspiration. Thank you so much, friends. Remember, the way you make an impact is not random. It's your divine design. And the universe is already aligning the right opportunities and the rewards to match your energy. If this reading resonated, let me know which pile you chose and which part of your purpose hit home in the comments. I love hearing your stories, friends. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who's ready to step into their own impact too. If you feel like going deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I am so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. Lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hi, Pile 2. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's first talk about your unique impact. We'll talk about your gift to the world and what your natural zone of genius is, or what your soul mission is. We have the star in reverse here, and this one says, have faith that healing is in the forecast. Pile 2, you naturally bring hope, guidance, and inspiration to others, especially after they've experienced failure or disappointment. In the reverse position, I feel like your gift could be feeling a little blocked at this moment. You're at your best when you show practical ways to recover rather than offering empty optimism. And so you know how to help people rebuild confidence and regain direction in a solid way that isn't surface level. So for example, maybe some of you here launch a coaching or a membership program specifically for people who are recovering from career setbacks or creative burnout. Maybe some of you here would rather share some sort of real life comeback story on social media or on YouTube, or show step-by-step strategies on how to move forward in your life. Maybe some of you here would rather be drawn to like designing workshops or webinars where you teach clients how to recover their skills and their networks and their revenue after they've experienced some sort of setback. We also have the leader sun, and it says, I lead from the heart. Pile 2, you are naturally confident, brilliant, purposeful, courageous, committed, authentic, positive, inspiring, passionate, empowered, visionary, vital, integrous, and trustworthy. So with this, I feel like you shine when you take initiative and when you lead with confidence. Your natural zone of genius is organizing and directing and creating systems or communities that other people can follow. You see how there's this one, to me, this looks like a nene goose because I'm from Hawaii, but geese, right? Like a flock of geese. And there's a leader and the other geese are following suit. So I feel like you have that ability, and people are going to be drawn to your energy, and your impact is going to grow when you embrace visibility. So maybe some of you here host a retreat or a webinar series or some sort of live event that teaches people your methods for personal or career reinvention. Maybe some of you here lead a team or a community program in your niche where you establish yourself as some sort of trusted authority. Maybe some of you here want to launch a content series or a podcast that positions you as the go-to expert for a specific audience. Things like career pivots or creative growth or resilience. Next, I want to talk about the pathway that you'll be noticed and rewarded for. Let's talk about how recognition and financial stability and opportunities will flow in for you. We have the patient witch in reverse here, and this one says, learn to get comfortable with sitting still whenever necessary. So this is the hanged man in reverse, and I feel like your recognition is going to come when you stop waiting for perfect conditions and when you just go ahead and act decisively. You shine by offering unconventional perspectives and solutions that others initially overlook. Because I feel like you acting despite fear allows your gifts to be seen. So maybe some of you here are going to relaunch your business or brand with a bold, authentic voice where you show your true approach and you end up attracting clients. Or maybe some of you here want to launch a pilot program or an offer that demonstrates your unconventional method, then you scale it based on your results. Maybe some of you here post content showing your unique perspective, even if it feels risky, and this leads you to partnerships or collaborations or recognition. We also have Moonshroom, healing old brain patterns. So pile 2, you have the ability to help others rewire their thinking patterns and release their old limitations. Your gift is transforming mental blocks into actionable strategies that actually generate results for people. So maybe some of you here want to develop a short course or a challenge to help clients break unproductive habits and adopt new frameworks for success. Or maybe some of you here want to offer coaching sessions that are focused on mindset shifts for overcoming career or financial obstacles. Maybe some of you here want to create practical guides or digital products that show step-by-step methods to retrain your mindset for confidence and for action. Next, let's talk about the lesson or the challenge that will strengthen your impact. We'll talk about the growth point or the block that must be healed or mastered. We have the 10 of Swords in reverse here, and this one says, hurt people, and hurt witches. And she looks like she's been stabbed in the back, and she's holding a bottle that says curse. So pile 2, you teach resilience and the art of bouncing back. You have skills that lie in showing others how to recover from complete collapse or failure and really turning endings into new opportunities. So for example, maybe some of you here create a rebuilding after failure program for entrepreneurs or professionals in transition. Maybe some of you here want to write or produce content documenting your own recovery from setbacks, and you teach actionable lessons. Maybe some of you here will help clients convert past failed projects into profitable new offerings. We also have Uranus change. So your gift is innovation and adaptability, pile 2. You're the kind of person that sees creative solutions and shifts before other people do. I feel like you can make an impact by helping people navigate change confidently, and your rewards follow from being bold and unconventional. So maybe this looks like you launching a product or a service or a course that introduces a new way of doing something traditional in your niche. Or maybe some of you here want to offer consulting or coaching that helps businesses or individuals pivot strategies effectively. Maybe some of you here develop content that teaches adaptive thinking or creative problem solving, which attracts visibility and financial opportunities to you. Next, let's talk about the ripple effect and your legacy. Let's talk about the long-term influence of your purpose and what you're building. We have the Chariot in reverse here, and this one says, you'll never get anywhere if you keep standing still. So your legacy is going to come from showing that power and progress don't always require force. I think that you're the kind of person that can model perseverance and courage and strategic movement rather than brute speed. So I feel like you know how to teach sustainable growth. Maybe some of you here want to build a long-term coaching or mentorship or membership program that's focused on resilience and steady achievement. Or maybe some of you here would rather develop a system or a framework for consistent growth that others can replicate without burnout. Maybe some of you here are drawn to documenting long-term projects that demonstrate success through patience and strategy, and maybe you get monetized through case studies or speaking or consulting. We also have Oak Tree, power, courage, and strength. So pile 2, you inspire others through grounded strength, through things like courage and consistency. I feel like your gift is modeling power that's sustainable and ethical rather than flashy or fleeting. I think that this is you leading by example in your field. So for example, maybe you run a business with transparency and ethics and consistent results. Maybe some of you here would be drawn to teach leadership or personal empowerment programs that focus on things like inner strength and endurance. Maybe some of you here want to mentor individuals in developing courage to take career or financial risks safely and effectively. Let's get some additional info here. We have Secret Garden, planting new seeds, hidden dreams, and nourishment. So you are skilled at cultivating ideas or projects quietly before revealing them to the world. Your impact grows from preparation and patience and nurturing vision. Some of you here might want to soft launch a new course or a service or some sort of creative project without public announcement. Maybe you want to refine it before it reaches a paying audience. Maybe some of you here want to build financial or creative reserves quietly before major career moves so that this ensures your stability when public action occurs. Maybe some of you here want to start small side projects, things like writing or art or digital products that later scale into profitable streams. Let's roll some astro dice to get more info for pile 2. So we have the North Node in the 3rd house. Your purpose is to communicate, connect, and to share ideas clearly and consistently. Pile 2, you are here to move from big picture dreaming to practical expression, really turning your wisdom into everyday language that other people can understand and use. So again, I really do think that you're going to make an impact by teaching, writing, singing, or creating content that simplifies these complex ideas and helps people in real tangible ways. So for example, maybe you want to start a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog that breaks down mindset or spirituality or self-growth topics into bite-sized actionable advice. Or maybe some of you here want to become a teacher or a coach or a consultant who focuses on everyday communication skills. Maybe you want to help others express themselves or to make confident choices. Maybe some of you here want to use storytelling or writing or social media to build genuine community where you can respond to people and exchange ideas and not just preach from a pedestal. I feel like financial stability and recognition are going to come from consistent communication and having this visible presence. I think, again, things like writing, teaching, content creation, maybe even local networking or freelancing would be key here. So for example, maybe some of you here will monetize a newsletter or a podcast or an online course series. Maybe some of you here will be teaching workshops or classes, either online or local. Maybe some of you here will be building a personal brand through authentic daily connection, things like comments and collaborations and Q&As. I think that the lesson here is to not chase distant ideals or to need to be the guru, but instead focus on the conversation in front of you, because your power is in the everyday communication and the consistency and the relatability. So thank you so much, friends. Remember, the way you make an impact is not random, it's your divine design, and the universe is already aligning the right opportunities and rewards to match your energy. If this reading resonated, let me know which pile you chose and which part of your purpose hit home in the comments. I love hearing your stories, friends. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who's ready to step into their own impact too. And if you feel like going deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I am so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. Lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hi, pile 3. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about your unique impact. We'll talk about your gift to the world and what your natural zone of genius is or your soul mission is. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse here, and this one says, having it all looks different for everyone. Pile 3, your gift is in showing people how to break cycles of financial or career limitation. I feel like you're not meant to follow inherited systems blindly, and I feel like your genius is creating new frameworks for stability and wealth that aren't necessarily traditional. Maybe some of you here are going to teach unconventional wealth building strategies like combining multiple income streams, things like freelance and digital products and consulting. Or maybe some of you here are going to create a business model or a program that helps families or clients break generational financial patterns. Maybe some of you here would want to launch a YouTube series or a course on non-traditional career paths that can lead you to long-term stability. We also have the Advocate, Saturn, and this one says, I align with the greater good of all. So this says humanitarian, resourceful, integrous, idealistic, resilient, outspoken, opinionated, rebellious, a champion, supportive, compassionate, democratic, passionate, driven, and devoted. Okay, so with this, I feel like you excel at structuring and enforcing systems that serve others. Your zone of genius is disciplined support. It's helping people to navigate bureaucracy and contracts or legal or financial complexities with clarity and with confidence. Maybe some of you here serve as a career or a business mentor who helps clients set clear goals and policies and boundaries to grow sustainably. Maybe some of you here offer consulting for small businesses or creatives on contracts, workflows, or compliance, and clients pay for peace of mind and structure. Maybe some of you here build a membership or an accountability group where members are supported through discipline steps to achieve their financial or professional goals. Next, let's talk about the pathway you'll be noticed for and rewarded for. So we'll talk about how recognition, financial stability, and opportunities will flow in for you. We have the Four of Cups here, and this one says, try not to be so picky. Okay. So your recognition is going to come from innovation and selective focus. You shine when you harness your energy to prioritize projects with genuine potential rather than chasing every opportunity. So for example, maybe some of you here want to focus on one high potential offer or product and perfect it instead of spreading yourself thin across smaller projects. Maybe some of you here want to develop a creative portfolio, something like art and writing and maybe some sort of coaching framework that highlights your strongest work, which attracts premium clients for you. I can see a lot of you here saying no to low value collaborations and instead investing energy into one launch that scales, maybe something like a signature course or a workshop. We also have wild energy, focusing your creative power. So I feel like you have untamed creative genius within you. Your gift is in translating energy and inspiration and bold ideas into tangible results. I think that harnessing this focus allows your ideas to flow into financial and career rewards. Maybe some of you here want to create a bold, high impact project like a viral social media campaign or a product launch that really does channel your natural energy. Or maybe some of you here want to lead workshops or group programs where participants co-create using your framework and you have something that's monetized through, again, ticketed access. Maybe some of you here want to monetize your creative skills through freelance contracts or commissions that showcase your distinct style. Next, let's talk about the lesson or challenge that will strengthen your impact. We'll talk about the growth point or the block that must be healed or mastered. We have Temperance here, and this one says, let go of self-imposed limitations. So your growth edge is mastering things like balance and integration. I think that you can combine skills and ideas and perspectives to create something new, and this is your alchemy. So maybe some of you here offer hybrid services or products like coaching plus some sort of digital tool, or maybe you go creative plus strategic consulting, something that integrates multiple client needs. I also can see some of you here acting as a mediator or a facilitator in business or in creative projects, really helping teams to blend ideas for better results. I can also see some of you here developing a unique framework where you combine mindsets and strategy and execution and really sell it as a step-by-step program or a workshop. We also have Neptune, vision. So I feel like your gift is in visionary thinking. I think that you can see possibilities and solutions before other people can. So your impact is going to be strongest when you translate that vision into tangible plans and when you inspire other people to follow. So Maybe some of you here want to lead a product launch or a brand campaign with a unique forward-thinking angle that competitors haven't explored yet. Or maybe some of you here want to pitch your ideas to investors or partners that others wouldn't consider. Maybe your clarity and your creativity will inspire confidence. Maybe some of you here want to design some sort of educational program or content that teaches others to see long-term possibilities in their careers or their finances. Next, let's talk about the ripple effect and the legacy that you're going to leave here. We'll talk about the long-term influence of your purpose and what you're building. We have the Five of Pentacles here, and this one says, nothing is as hopeless as it seems. So your legacy is showing resilience. It's helping others thrive even during scarcity or difficulty or economic downturns. You have this gift in turning adversity into actionable guidance. Maybe some of you here create a course or a coaching program on building income during economic uncertainty or industry shifts. Maybe some of you here want to share case studies or examples of overcoming financial or career hardship to teach practical strategies. I can also see some of you here offering affordable or sliding scale access programs that allow those who are in difficult positions to benefit from your expertise, where you can build a loyal community as well. We also have Pine Tree, Vitality, Longevity, and Perseverance. So your strength lies in endurance and in long-term consistency. You're naturally able to build projects or careers that stand the test of time, and I think that you know how to teach others sustainable growth. Maybe some of you here launch a membership or a subscription or a recurring service that grows steadily over years. Or maybe some of you here write a book or create a signature program that becomes a long-term reference point in your niche. Maybe some of you here run multi-year projects, things like content channels and brands or initiatives that accumulate influence and revenue slowly but steadily. Let's get some additional info here. We have Sanctuary, and this one says curate your realm, sacred space, altar, and haven. So your gift is creating environments, pile 3, either physical or digital. And I think that these spaces support growth and safety and focus. And so your impact is amplified when you help others cultivate spaces where they can thrive. So maybe you want to design a coaching space or a studio or an online community that feels safe and inspiring and productive for clients. Maybe some of you here want to offer consulting on workspace optimization and workflow and productivity, where these sacred spaces are for entrepreneurs or creatives. Maybe some of you here want to launch a retreat, maybe a virtual summit or workshop series in a carefully curated environment that enhances learning and creativity and connection. Let's roll some astro dice to get more info for you. We have Pluto in the 6th house. Your impact and transformation is going to come through work, service, maybe things like health and mastery. I think that you're here to redefine what it means to serve and work, where you turn ordinary routines into powerful tools for growth and healing and empowerment. So I really do think that you're going to make an impact by transforming systems and workplaces and people's approach to daily life. I think that you're the kind of person that can notice what's broken. I think that you're really good at kind of keeping an eye out for burnout and toxicity. And so your energy can bring in this deep reform. And so maybe some of you here would be great at being some sort of workplace alchemist. Maybe you're a manager or a consultant or a healer who helps people overhaul unhealthy work habits or office culture or systems. Maybe some of you here would be some sort of health transformer. Maybe you dive into holistic wellness or psychology or body-mind healing, where you guide others to reclaim control over their routines and their energy. Maybe some of you here would be some sort of skill master, where you excel in roles that demand precision and power. Maybe something like crisis management or therapy, maybe surgery, research, analytics, maybe editing. I just think that your growth is going to come from transforming stress into strength, and you're going to learn that true power doesn't come from control, but it comes from service with depth and integrity. You are the one who is going to heal the system from the inside out, quietly, persistently, and powerfully. So thank you so much, friends. Remember that the way that you make an impact is not random. It's your divine design, and the universe is already aligning the right opportunities and rewards to match your energy. If this reading resonated, let me know which pile you chose and which part of your purpose hit home in the comments. I love hearing your stories, friends. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who's ready to step into their own impact too. If you feel like going deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I'm so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. Lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye friends. Love y'all. Hi pile 4. Hey friends. Welcome to your reading. First, let's talk about your unique impact. We'll talk about your gift to the world, and we'll talk about what your natural zone of genius is, or what your soul mission is. We have the 3 of Cups in reverse here, and this one says come together with your coven. So I feel like your gift lies in fostering genuine collaboration and community, and I feel like you shine most when you avoid shallow or distracted social energy. You're the kind of person that creates meaningful networks, not just casual connections. So for example, maybe some of you here build a tight-knit professional mastermind or cohort that produces real results and referrals rather than large impersonal networking groups. Maybe some of you here launch a collaborative project or a collective where participants contribute tangible outcomes like a co-created course or a product line. Maybe some of you here lead small workshops or intimate events that cultivate loyalty and deeper engagement from clients or supporters. We also have the Magician, Rahu, and this one says, I am a master manifester. Pile 4, you are naturally acquisitive, alternative, intelligent, conscious, creative, magical, intuitive, inventive, alchemic, technical, artistic, dynamic, psychological, synthesizing, eccentric, and charismatic. So pile 4, again, you're a natural manifester. You know how to turn your ideas into tangible results, but your edge is that you know how to take an unconventional approach. You're the kind of person that can combine resources in unexpected ways to create impact. And I think that the energy of Rahu amplifies your ability to innovate in ways that other people might initially overlook. Maybe some of you here develop a new hybrid service or a product by combining skills from multiple places, right? Like coaching and tech tools and creative frameworks all together. Or maybe some of you here launch a unique brand campaign that uses novel marketing strategies and you gain attention and opportunities faster. Maybe some of you here offer a customized transformation package where clients receive a fully personalized plan that integrates multiple approaches, and maybe this will be monetizable as a high-ticket offer. Next, let's talk about the pathway that you'll be noticed and rewarded for. Let's talk about how recognition, financial stability, and opportunities will flow in for you. We have the Ace of Cups here, and this one says, do you feel that in your heart? That's potential, dear. And this witch is holding like a little cauldron of a potion, or a cup of potion. So I feel like your impact is going to flow from emotional generosity, from inspiration, and from connection. You're the kind of person that naturally opens channels for others to feel understood, supported, and motivated, and your financial reward is going to come when your offerings evoke genuine emotion or transformation. So maybe some of you here want to offer coaching or mentorship or therapy sessions that focus on emotional breakthroughs and personal fulfillment. Maybe some of you here want to create content, things like videos or newsletters or courses that inspire action and connection, and this leads you to sponsorships or paid offerings. Maybe some of you here want to launch a group program or a retreat that's centered around healing or creativity or emotional empowerment, and maybe you'll be monetized through ticket sales and through upsells. We also have future self, connecting with what's to come. So you are excellent at guiding others by helping them align with their potential and their long-term vision. You have this genius that lies in teaching people to make choices that serve their future selves and not just short-term wins. So maybe some of you here want to design a career or a financial coaching program that helps clients map 6 to 12-month goals and actionable steps. Maybe some of you here want to offer long-term planning services for creatives or entrepreneurs where you show how small changes today can multiply over time. Also, I'm thinking that maybe some of you here would be great at creating digital content or courses that are focused on visualization or goal setting and strategy for future success. Maybe this will lead you to recurring revenue or high value clients. Next, let's talk about the lesson or the challenge that strengthens your impact. We'll talk about the growth point or the block that must be healed or mastered. We have the 6 of Cups here, and this one says, give yourself the compassion you were never given. And we have this gal approaching this window. I can turn the card upright, but we've got this gal coming up to receive some flowers from this little like flower cart. And we have this card in reverse here. So your lesson is releasing nostalgia or outdated patterns to fully embrace your growth. I feel like your zone of genius emerges when you help others to step beyond limiting attachments and outdated expectations. So for example, maybe some of you here provide coaching or courses that help clients pivot from old careers or past failures or limiting family or business expectations. And maybe some of you here want to create programs for modern skill development that focuses on current and future opportunities rather than relying on past methods. Maybe some of you here want to share your personal transformation stories that illustrate how letting go of old patterns leads you to financial or professional success. We also have first house arrival. So your natural energy signals arrival and initiative and presence. You have the ability to make a strong first impression that opens doors, and your influence grows as others experience your confidence and your authenticity, Pal 4. I feel like some of you here will be pitching yourselves boldly for maybe like speaking or consulting or coaching roles. I think that your first impression is going to convert to paying clients. I also feel like some of you here could be leading live events or webinars or masterclasses where your energy and your credibility draw immediate engagement. Maybe some of you here are going to be launching a personal brand refresh or a professional profile update that attracts new clients or collaborators. Next, let's talk about the ripple effect and the legacy that you're going to leave here. Let's talk about the long-term influence of your purpose and what you're building. We have the High Priestess in reverse here, and this one says, when in doubt, your first gut feeling can always be trusted. And this gal is doing some divination here, and she's wearing a shirt that says Divination Witch, and she's with her cat or her familiar. So I feel like your gift lies in accessing intuitive insight and hidden knowledge, but in reverse, maybe you're struggling to trust your instincts fully. I think that overcoming this will allow you to guide others using clarity and discernment rather than uncertainty. So maybe some of you here want to offer mentorship or coaching that helps clients navigate uncertainty and make aligned decisions. Or maybe some of you here want to develop frameworks or courses that teach people how to trust their judgment in business or in their creative projects. Maybe some of you here want to publish content revealing behind the scenes insights or strategies that others overlook, where you turn your esoteric knowledge into actionable results. We also have mint, abundance, persistence, and proliferation. So you have this ability to generate steady, lasting abundance, and that's your hallmark, Pal 4. You grow ideas and projects and resources in a sustainable way, and I think that this creates prosperity for yourself and for others. Maybe some of you here want to launch an evergreen digital product or a subscription-based service that consistently generates revenue. Or maybe some of you here want to offer scalable coaching or templates or tools that clients can reuse where you produce repeated income streams. Maybe some of you here want to implement persistent marketing strategies that steadily grow your visibility and client acquisition over time. Let's get some additional info here. We have duality, and this one says paradigm shift, equilibrium, balance, and temperance. So I feel like you bring balance and perspective, and you help others integrate opposing forces in their work or life. I think that you have this unique genius in guiding transformations that require seeing multiple angles simultaneously. So for example, maybe some of you here want to provide consulting or coaching that helps clients reconcile competing priorities like career versus personal life or creativity versus business. Maybe some of you here would rather design frameworks or courses that teach decision making or strategy or personal growth through balance and integration. Maybe some of you here want to lead workshops or shift paradigms where you help teams or individuals adapt to changing markets or creative trends. Let's also get some additional info here from our Astro Dice. We have Neptune in the 10th house. Your impact and reputation are going to come from your creativity, your empathy, and your vision, Pile 4. You are here to inspire others through imagination, through things like compassion, and even spiritual or artistic leadership. But you're also here to ground your dreams into tangible results. So I feel like your impact or your gift to the world is going to be that you have this like visionary or healing presence in your career. People are drawn to your compassion and your artistry and your ability to make others feel seen and soothed or inspired. I think that you blur the line between the practical and the mystical. So I can see some of you here having a creative or a spiritual career, maybe in film or photography or art, maybe poetry or spiritual entrepreneurship, where your sensitivity becomes your brand. Maybe some of you here are going to work in some sort of healing profession, maybe counseling or energy work, maybe therapy or nursing, where you help others through empathy and intuitive insight. Maybe some of you here would love to do some sort of purpose-driven storytelling where you could create media or podcasts or online platforms that inspire hope and faith and emotional healing. I think that you're going to be rewarded and recognized through financial growth and prestige that comes from following your inspiration and not imitation. Neptune is a planet that rewards authenticity and alignment. And so when you create or you serve from your heart, I feel like the right opportunities are going to magnetize to you. So maybe some of you here will build a loyal online following through honest storytelling or spiritual guidance. Maybe some of you here will be selling your creative work or your services that emotionally move or heal people. Maybe some of you here are going to be working in nonprofits or causes that uplift people and bring emotional fulfillment and eventually some sort of stable abundance. I think that you are going to be remembered as a visionary, a healer, or some sort of creative guide who reminds others of their own divine potential. I think that your work, whether this is through art or wisdom or compassion, or all of them, I feel like this is going to leave people feeling more connected and more hopeful and more inspired, which is huge. So thank you so much, friends. Remember that the way that you make an impact is not random. It's your divine design, and the universe is already aligning the right opportunities and rewards to match your energy. If this reading resonated, let me know which pal you chose and what part of your purpose hit home in the comments. I love hearing your stories. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who's ready to step into their own impact too. If you feel like going deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I'm so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. Lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all.